Folks, we are at the time to pick some games for the night. All right, so stick with us. We're going to lead you in the right direction. We have been pretty accurate throughout the season making picks. Just don't pick Michigan again. We're going to talk about some games around the country, get our opinions, and get our score. We're going to do it the over-unders and against the spread. So stick with us. I want to see your comments to see what you guys think about some of these picks. But we're going to start off with a game. I don't like that one. I don't like that one either. Let's start out with the one that you talked about was going to be the upset. Chip Kelly is going to go to Autzen Stadium, where he used to coach, and coach the UCLA Bruins. Line on this game is 13.5. Oregon spread is 66.5. Who you taking and why? Give me briefs.
Taking UCLA not to win, to cover. Okay. To cover. I think Oregon's going to win a close game here. Yep. I think maybe you get in that 7 to 10 point range. Give me the Ducks. Say 35-28.
I'm going Ducks with the cover, and I don't think it's an indictment on UCLA. I just feel like UCLA coming down after one game to play a Duck team who is on a mission right now. Again, you got to talk about the offense. Defense is clicking. Coach Cristobal knows how to do it. He's been at Alabama before. He knows that kind of brand of football. I think they're too physical for them, and I think Tyler Shuff in the offense is too much. I'm going to say Oregon definitely covers, and I'm going to say the over-under is definitely the over. I can see.
So you think Oregon's going to put up a lot of points?
I think Oregon's going to put up a lot of points, but I also see
UCLA
UCLA
defense
too.
didn't look bad last week.
That's what I'm saying. I think UCLA's offense is going to still probably play well. I don't think they're going to score like 30 points. I could see them scoring 21 to 24. I could definitely see that. Chip Kelly's got familiarity with Oregon.
I'm rooting for DTR this weekend.
I like him, but, Chip Kelly, he did us wrong up at Oregon, so let him go. All right, next game.
You wrong.
Next game's a nooner, one we talked about big time. 66.5 over-under, 20.5 line. I bet you know who that is, right?
It's the Indiana game.
That's the Indiana Hoosiers going to Columbus, Ohio to take on Ohio State Buckeyes. I am not taking that over. I'm not taking that line, that spread. I'm not taking it. I will take the over-under. I think Ohio State is one of those teams that are going to baseline score 40 points every week. I've got Ohio State almost covering.
So you think they'll win by like 17?
I was going to say 14.
Okay.
I can see 17.
I think they're going to blow them out.
I
already gave 52-24.
I think the only way that happens is if, again, Indiana's not built like Ohio State, but they are the best built to beat Ohio State outside of, right now, Wisconsin. If we thought that Maryland was going to put up points against them, I think a team that's more steady like Indiana is probably going to do better. I don't see them winning. If they do win, it's going to be a monumental upset. I can't wait to read the headlines. But we've seen stuff like this before. I mean, nobody thought that Iowa and Purdue was going to beat the crap out of Ohio State, but they did. I just don't see it in this one, but I don't see them covering. I will not take the line. I will take the over-under. I got Ohio State winning in this one. We already did the Clemson-Florida State game, so we're not going to do that one. I would do the Florida-Vanderbilt game, but Florida's apt to score 278 points in this one, so I'm going to say no. Appalachian State is going to be traveling down to Myrtle Beach Conway to take on Coastal Carolina. I think this is a Jamie Chadwell audition for the South Carolina head coaching job. The over-under is 48, and Coastal Carolina is favored by 5.5. Take it.
I think this line actually opened at 2.5 for Coastal Carolina, and people were pounding it, so they moved it up.
I'm taking that one.
I think Coastal's going to win this game by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think
you see a very similar game to the Louisiana Lafayette game.
Yeah, because both teams are quality, and again, a lot of people want to. This is for the Sun Belt supremacy. Both teams are really, really good. Coastal Carolina's coming in 7-0, ranked 15th in the country. That's amazing for a team that was FCS just a couple years ago. Appalachian State's only lost one. But neither team is I don't think they're going to score a whole lot. I think defensively is going to be really, really good in this game. I've got Coastal Carolina covering, though. I agree with you. I say 7 to 10 points. It's going to be a tight one. Much respect for the Appalachian State team, but I just don't think Coastal Carolina is going to have any of that today. I think they're going to win that one. Let's see. Let's keep talking some football. Ooh, wow. This is interesting just because of the numbers. Don't necessarily like either team, but the numbers on this one. Let me see if you can guess them. Don't look at it. Over under 62.5. Spread is 5 points. What teams are these?
What conference?
ACC. Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. Like what?
Who's Miami play?
It's not Miami.
Duke?
Yep.
Who do they play?
So Wake Forest is going to be traveling to Durham, North Carolina to
Wake
take
Forest is
on the Duke
5.5
Blue Devils.
favorites.
Yep. Wake Forest is favored by 5 points. The over-under is 62.5. I'm taking Wake to cover that, and I'm going to say triple that.
You think Wake's going to win by 15 plus?
They're going to beat the crap out of Duke. And the reason why is because their offense now has confidence. I know you lost the game against North Carolina, but as long as Sam Hartman is playing the way he did, plus the running backs are playing really, really well, that defense, but they're not going up against an offensive juggernaut this week. They're going up against Chase Bryce and the Duke nobodies. I hate it for the kid because he's so good, but we can't tell because he doesn't have anybody around him. They do have a pretty solid running game, but the running game is not going to win in the game where Wake Forest is going to run 100-plus plays on you. I've got Wake Forest winning this one by like 21 points.
Yeah, I think Wake's going to win and cover.
It's bad. This is not a good game for Duke at all. It's coming off of Wake Forest having confidence after putting up 53 points and losing. I just can't see it happening. But that line was interesting. You want to know an even more interesting game? Let me tell you about this line. Over under is 64. When you tell you the teams, you can believe what? Over under 64. The line is 2.
What conference?
SEC.
Who does Auburn play?
Nope. This
is LSU, Arkansas.
LSU and Arkansas. Yeah. So Arkansas is going to host LSU in this game.
Is Arkansas favored?
No.
LSU by 2?
It's LSU. And I'm telling you, I've had a sneaky feeling this whole year, Arkansas is going to beat LSU. I am not taking LSU to cover. I'm taking Arkansas to cover and win the game straight up. I do see that over-under because I know that LSU is going to score points, but they're playing with a skeleton crew. Miles Brennan's out for a while. He's not coming back.
It's TJ Finley,
It's
right?
TJ Finley. I trust Felipe, which is strange to say, but I trust Felipe Franks and that Arkansas defense with Barry Odom calling the plays. I trust Arkansas to win this game. I got Arkansas with the upset. What are you thinking?
I'm going to take LSU.
Oh, come on, man. LSU, after what they did to us. No, man.
I
can't do it.
I like Arkansas and I like Felipe. I think they're a good team, but it's I think this is kind of like an LSU bounce back week. I mean, they can't be that bad, right?
Yeah, they are.
They just won the national title.
No, they're that bad. Here's a game with some intrigue. Cincinnati is going to be going down to Central Florida.
Assuming they're favored by 14?
Nope.
Sad.
Over under 63, they're favored by 6.
What?
6. Now that tells you the respect that Josh Heupel has.
They're getting disrespected. Nah, they're getting disrespected.
Are you
sure?
sure?
UCF got blown out by Georgia Tech.
They did.
Disrespected.
No, Georgia Tech got blown out by UCF. Yeah. UCF, Dylan Gabriel's playing great, but Desmond Ritter's much better. That whole defense, much better. They're beating teams by like 29 points.
I think that since he's going to win
I think they're going to do everything they can to be the first team in Power 5 to get Group of 5 to get into the playoffs. I see them covering that, and I see them winning with that over and under for sure. I would take the over because I think they're going to put up points. I think both teams are going to put up points, but I still think they can win by 14.
Yep.
All right, another good game coming up. Battle of undefeateds. I'm telling you, this is such a strange one.
Huh?
Wisconsin is traveling to Northwestern.
I was like, who are you talking about?
I know. Northwestern's
Peyton Ramsey had a good game last week.
They're undefeated. They're number 19 in the country. How about that? If Purdue didn't drop it, well, no, it didn't matter because somebody's going to lose.
Purdue should have won. That game, Aiden O'Connell is bad.
And you didn't have Rondale, so
it's bad. They need a quarterback. They need a quarterback in West Lafayette.
It makes a difference, and I think that sucks. But right now, the over/under is 44 points. Makes a lot of sense. Wisconsin's favored at 7.5.
I think that game's going to go over.
I think Wisconsin playing with Graham Mertz the way they are, definitely over. Definitely taking Wisconsin in the cover. Northwestern has no pulse offensively. That defense is spectacular. Choice. That offense can't score. I like Peyton Ramsey.
They had a kid with 3 touchdowns last week, wide receiver.
Sure, against a depleted Purdue defense. They're playing Wisconsin. Not happening in this one. I don't see, and again, we talked about this before. Outside of Peyton Ramsey, can you name an explosive player? The player had 3 touchdowns. You can't. So at this point, I feel like Wisconsin's a better team. They're on a mission. They want to try to win. They've proven everybody wrong, and I'm going to go with Wisconsin in this one to cover and hit that over. Let's see. No, that's a doo-doo bowl. I'm not picking any Alabama game from now on out. Alabama's going to win.
You're gonna win.
The over-under is 58, and Alabama's favored by 31. I'm not even thinking
Against
about
who?
that.
Mississippi State?
Yeah, they're playing Kentucky.
Oh, they're playing Kentucky.
I'm not picking that. Kentucky is a pesky team, and of course they're playing better now. That was a really, really heartfelt game. They lost their offensive line coach to cancer. Blessing to his family and prayers to them. But they're not going to. 31 points is good. This one has some intrigue because we're going to be playing these next two teams in succession. Virginia Tech is traveling to Pittsburgh to play in a game where
Virginia Tech.
I don't know which team is better.
What's the line?
The line is 3.5. Virginia Tech over/under is 55 and a half.
I think Virginia Tech's going to have a really good game this week.
Well, they better. Depends on Coach Fuente. Now, he made that dumb decision to call a timeout.
Yeah, what?
And Liberty won the game.
What are they doing?
I don't know, but those are the kind of things that lose games for you. So that's why I'm saying I don't know. Where I think that Virginia Tech actually might be more talented than Pitt. I feel like Pitt's probably more better coached with Narduzzi, and they are playing at home. But I still think Virginia Tech wins this game. I think we play a Pitt team on a skid, and I would take that over
last
under.
time we played Pitt on a skid?
Actually, I don't know that I'll take that over under. 55 and a half.
I think I could go under.
I would go under on this one.
Well, Virginia Tech's defense is actually like there now that they have COVID people back.
Yeah. Well, their offense has been pretty good.
Yeah, their defense was literally like, it was funny. I saw a stat that said they had 8 or 9 starters on defense that were
you
COVID.
remember the game they played against North Carolina? They didn't have anybody.
44. Yeah, I swear North Carolina, it was like they threw to anyone. It was like they had like a JV team out there on defense.
It was bad, but I don't think I'm going to take the over on this one, and I don't know that the line is accurate either at 3.5. I'd say Virginia Tech can win this game by 10. So I'm gonna take Virginia Tech to cover and the under in this game. We're gonna talk about some other games. Let's talk about a team that you love for some reason. Auburn is gonna be taking on Tennessee. This is gonna be in Jordan-Hare. 49.5 over under. Auburn's favored by 10.5.
Yeah,
I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I don't even think we should say much more about it. I think Tennessee's on a skid too. I always say this too. Jim Chaney doesn't do his quarterbacks any favors with the boring play calls. If Clemson fans have a problem with it, you should really thank everything that you do not have Jim Chaney as offense coordinator. Defense has been on a skid too. I think Auburn's trying to get back in a rhythm, and I definitely see them with that cover and the over in this game. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. 59.5, 7-point favorite for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State, you mean?
No.
Oklahoma is
Oklahoma's favored by 7.
Okay, I think Oklahoma
because they're not playing in Stillwater. They're playing in Norman. So that makes a difference. Not really when there's not really any fans there, but at the same time, first of all, I'm taking the over. 59.5. Kidding me? Over. The line, I'm going to say Oklahoma State covers even if they lose. 7 points between these teams.
That's a lot.
It's either a blowout or it's super close. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma covering, Oklahoma State covering, taking the over, and I have Oklahoma State winning this game.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Liberty is going to be going to NC State over under 67 points. NC State's favored by 3.5.
Liberty wins, and yeah.
You really?
Yeah, I think Liberty's going to win.
Dang it. I'm going to say they're finally going to get stopped. I think NC State can do it.
You're trusting Dave Doran.
No, I hate Dave Doran. I hate him the most. But I feel like they have a veteran defense. They have a really good offensive line, 2 really good running backs, and Bailey Hockman's playing decently right now for him. I think they have one of the best tight ends in the conference in Kerry Angeline. I think that Emeka Emezi is one of the best receivers in the country. And Liberty has been riding a high, but for NC State to be favored by 3.5, that does tell you something about how they feel about Liberty. Yeah. I just feel like they're not going to go 3 for 3 against the ACC.
I think Liberty's going to win. I'll take Liberty.
Do you take the over?
I think that game goes. I think that game goes under.
67 is a lot. Liberty can score a lot.
34-33 is how I viewed it.
Something like that. Malik Willis was the former Auburn quarterback. He got beat out by Bo Nix. Y'all missed out on that one.
Yeah.
Last game that I want to talk about, I guess, that we can get into, because I don't really see. No, there's a couple more. We'll just do this quickly, run through it. Thanks for sticking with us, folks. Missouri at South Carolina. Of course, Missouri's only playing with 56 scholarship players, but South Carolina's playing with literal traffic cones. I don't know that
What's the spread?
South Carolina can keep Missouri from scoring 50 points.
What's the
The
spread?
over-under is 54. Missouri is favored by 6.5.
Wow.
Taking it.
They're favored by 6.5.
Yep. I'm telling you, that is driven by the news of both Israel McQuamu and J.C. Horn opting out. You also had another play dropped out. Roderick dropped out too. So 3 starters in your secondary, who was already getting torched, have dropped out.
That's ridiculous.
And then your D-line is starting to hurt a little bit. And then you have their offense again. You know, you can't run the ball a million times with Kevin Harris. They have the exact opposite issue of Clemson. Clemson can throw the ball for 1,000,000 yards, can't run it. They can run for 1,000,000 yards, can't throw it. Colin Hill's not going to win a game against you, and honestly, I'm putting him up against with Bazelak of Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz calling plays, a guy who's giving Clemson some issues. There's zero chance that they keep them from scoring 42. I do see Missouri getting that. I'm going to say Missouri wins this game.
I think Missouri's going to win too.
And I see the over. Because South Carolina can score. They can score. And Missouri's, I'm not saying Missouri's a world beater because they're trash too. And they're going to be playing with essentially nobody. But South Carolina's even worse. And then going through this whole head coach thing with Mike Bobo, a guy who got fired at Colorado State, I just don't see it happening. Oh, you want to know the worst game of the year that's not being played? Michigan and Rutgers, because nobody would want to watch that one.